In this town, not only am I hunting for drama, I am hunting for rich daddies.
They say life is what you make it. Well, I say make it full of bears, drinking bourbon, talking about Bravo.
Hello! I'm Hunter Harden.
And I'm Papa the Bear.
And welcome to the Real Housebears. Your podcast is a motherfucker and soulless. Your podcast is soulless. And I have two podcasts, by the way.
Your accent is soulless.
You're a soulless person.
I'm Southern, y'all.
At first I was like, well, that's not his Russian voice. What is that accent? And I was like, oh, that's someone from Nevada trying to sound like they're from the South.
Shut up. I guess I should. My Russian accent's better than my Southern accent.
Your Russian accent's pretty good. Your Russian Southern, we might need to work on that a little bit.
Damn it.
But it's wildly entertaining.
Damn it. I thought I was doing really good.
Yeah, well, it was funny. It was definitely funny.
Well, howdy, y'all. I'm Southern.
You're
Biscuits and Gravy. Your podcast is soulless, and your podcast's a motherfucker.
All right. Well, we'll just...
You have to edit out both of those.
Well, yeah, thanks for putting on the extra work.
You're welcome.
Well, it's good to be back in the hot closet.
Hot closet.
Even though it's too hot here in Utah.
It's hot everywhere. Like, even UK is breaking records.
Yeah, I think the whole globe is at like 100 degrees.
Feels like the globe is getting warmer.
It seems like someone needs to buy me a pool.
Where? Where are we going to put it?
In the backyard, I guess. Where we could go, I would love to, speaking of the pools, I've been still loving Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And just recently, hallelujah, Tamra Barney is, or Tamra Judd, I guess she is now, coming back to the OC. Oh, I think it's going to complete, people have not been happy with the OC for the past few seasons, so I think it's going to be exciting.
So they're going to are they bringing back more than just her?
No, they're not bringing back Vicky.
Okay.
Just Tamra. So they're keeping Shannon. Keeping Emily and Gina. Keeping Heather Dubrow. Adding Tamra and who knows who else.
Adding Tamra and maybe another girl.
Maybe so. I'm excited about it, even though while watching Ultimate Girls Trip, I can tell that Tamra, it's too obvious how much she's working for the camera now. Like when you were watching, I think when Dorinda went off on Tamra and Tamra started crying. I was like, Tamra, I don't know if those tears are genuine. You're a badass bitch. People don't normally make you cry.
You don't know that.
But she has been off camera for a while, so maybe that's the issue.
Who knows?
Well, you know what I do know? It would be a calamity if she wasn't back on the OC.
I knew this girl named Jane once.
Oh my God. That might be worse than the last time. That might be worse than the last time.
Calamity Jane.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really have to throw in Jane. We just got the Calamity. That was
I
good.
wanted to.
That was good. I knew a girl named Jane once. Well, we do have 2 episodes to get into, so I guess we can go ahead and
get started.
Get rid of the small talk and go ahead and get into it.
Yes.
So you say it would be a good idea if we just got into it.
Yes.
That I know. We'll get into it.
Okay.
Honey, I'm gonna need help.
Well, first we're in Garcelles' 55th birthday party, where we left off last time.
We're still at the party. Erica Jane wants more drinks, but she's already trashed.
Yeah, she's already trashed. And Sutton and Diana and Kyle are still off to the side. Kyle trying to mediate this conversation between Diana and Sutton, which it's all going poorly.
And Sutton is so weird. She, goes from being super insanely angry to being like, oh my gosh, I just want to be your friend so bad. Like, oh my gosh, I feel for you, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you just said she was heartless and an MFer, So why are you even trying to even, like, still try with her? You could tell she has nothing, she doesn't want anything to do with you. But she's like, oh my gosh, I'm just so sorry that you lost your baby. And she goes to touch Diana, and Diana's like, don't touch.
So, well, Sutton really does want to make this better. She does want to be able to get along.
But she keeps going back and forth.
Sutton does want people to like her.
She's just going back and forth, and it's just like, girl, she doesn't want to be friends with you. Figure it out.
Well, the big problem is that both Sutton and Kyle, you can tell, are wasted.
Yeah.
I don't know if Diana is. She's been ill. I don't know that.
I don't think she would be drinking.
And I guess I need to see what a Campari is. She orders a Campari and soda all the time.
I think it's like just a sparkling water, isn't it?
I don't
like
have a clue. I need to
water.
look it up. But, you know, Sutton, try this. This has been a topic of conversation even on my social media outside of Housewives. When someone is going through something and you have gone through something similar, a lot of people appreciate, like myself, if I've gone something and I found out that you've gone through something similar, I'm like, oh, hooray, someone has experienced something similar to me and they can at least relate to what I'm going through.
Yeah, that's why Sutton said she lost 2 babies, but in Diana's eyes, she's like, oh, she's just trying to one-up me. And I'm like,
well, that's
oh
what
my
a lot, but you know, a lot of people, again, it's a totally unrelated post on Facebook just yesterday where someone was like, oh, make it all about yourself and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't see it that way. I see it as like, hey, I relate to you. I feel you. Even though our situations can't possibly be identical, I want you to know that I can relate to the pain that you're feeling.
Yeah.
How dare you question my empathy?
But yeah, Sutton is like me. She is touch is her love language. So when she wants to connect with you, she touches you. And Diana did not like that. But also, Kyle, it seems at this moment, was not buying into the fact that that Sutton has had 2 miscarriages.
Kyle.
But again, wasted.
Yeah, Kyle just needs to calm down. But Kyle keeps putting her hands on Sutton.
And then Sutton keeps putting her hands on Diana.
Yeah. Well, it's not like putting her hand. No, Kyle's like grabbing onto Sutton, like grabbing her shoulder and shaking her and saying no. And that's not okay to do, Kyle.
No, absolutely.
It even seems like there's a red mark right here on Sutton's shoulder after that scene.
Could be. It could be. Well, Sutton really thought for a moment that she and Diana made a connection, that they found a resolution, and she wants to hug it out. Completely oblivious to the fact that Diana practically wants to jump out of her skin during this whole hug.
Yeah, and Kyle's just like, oh, I can't believe you ladies, blah, 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 and leaves. And I'm like, thank God, Kyle, go away.
Yeah, Kyle goes back to the ladies. Diana leaves and Sutton leaves.
Yeah, they just leave. And it seems like Sutton was still upset. She seemed like she was still, like, talking shit on the way out.
And then Erica, where's Oliver? Garcelle, where's your hot son?
Oliver, you're hot.
Doing a leg lift. Oh, my goodness.
Oliver, come over here. Come over here. But my favorite thing about this whole scene is that Erica is hugging Dorit so tight.
So tightly.
Like, Erica has lost her center of gravity practically.
It's like she's going to float up and she's hanging on to Dorit for dear life.
But she's like, Oliver, are you married? And he's like, I'm committed. And everyone's like, yes, he's got children and blah, 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 blah. And Erica's like, well, tell your baby mama to DM me and we'll do a threesome. But Oliver is kind. He sits down and talks to her for a minute. He's very nice about it.
And he's not trashed, obviously.
Right. Well, I think he's sober because, he used to have
that's
some
right.
serious
He's
drug
sober.
problems.
Yeah. So he knew how to handle it, and he totally, he blocks her.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
no, honey, I gotta go.
Right. So Crystal and Garcelle's son Jax go over to pick the flowers off the table. And Erica looks at Jax like, what are you doing here? Get the F out of here.
Get the F out of here. And I could tell what she was doing in that drunk form. She was just treating him like, get out of here because I can't hit on you. You got to get out of here. Your mom's going to get mad. You need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, and she probably thought
it was not
funny.
It wasn't funny. It was startling, and especially for a 14-year-old to hear this.
Yeah, but this is going to be an unpopular opinion. Well, what's not going to be unpopular is that, yes, it was wrong. You don't talk to anyone that way, much less a 14-year-old.
You're such a nice guy.
But is it so major that we're all going to melt down about it for 2 full episodes?
No.
Denial.
No.
Has Jax not been told F off at school probably 18 times. I mean, again, it's not right.
And she said she was, and like,
But they act like
serious.
Erica hit him.
And yeah, it wasn't like Erica was doing it out of spite or anything like that. But
again.
it was weird that it seemed like everybody left, and the only people who left was Erica and
Dorit.
Dorit.
Dorit's probably like, let me out of here.
I know, she's like, look it away.
Well, afterwards, next day, Garcelle shows up to the Real. You can tell that she really loves her hairstylist, RHOBH.
Yeah, Robert,
Like, you can tell she like gets excited to see him, you know?
They talk a lot.
Yeah, well, Garcelle recaps the birthday party.
My birthday party was lit.
She wants an apology from Erica, which rightfully so. Again, I'm not saying that Erica was right, but she's really over Erica just like getting wasted all the time.
Yeah. With her meds cocktails.
Yeah.
Okay, remember on the earlier episode, you said when the first time Erica got drunk on the boat and the meds, you said, how much do you bet this is going to be a storyline with Garcelle?
Yep.
And I'm like,
Yep.
watch, the next time she gets drunk, that's when Garcelle's going to say something. And it happened.
Oh, yeah.
So Garcelle's ready to have a discussion with Erica and set this girl straight.
Well, I'm ready to have a discussion with Rashad, the trainer at the self-defense class.
He was sweet.
A discussion about when we're getting together. So we have a nice moment of Crystal and Dorit at Hollywood Dojo.
Getting some self-defense class lessons.
PK is going to London, so Dorit's really nervous because last time he was in London, there was the whole break-in debacle. It was just a really nice scene.
Dorit killed it.
Yeah, I really felt her power.
Yeah.
I think that, if she was focused, she'd maybe beat the heck out of somebody.
Yeah, but I am glad that she said she would not, even with these classes, everything that happened, she wouldn't have done it any differently.
Yeah.
Because there's a gun involved, you could make things even worse with self-defense. Sometimes you just have to just do whatever they say.
Yeah, and plus she hadn't had self-defense classes at that
But
point.
it is nice to have self-defense class from dicks at the bar trying to hit on you that you don't want and tries to grab you or something, and then bam! Palm to the nose.
And it's also nice that she's just not torturing herself about maybe I could have done it differently. That's that's nice.
She did everything
To
the
have peace
perfect
about
way.
that.
Like nothing happened.
Right.
Only people lost money. $660,000 watches and stuff. You know.
Those schools.
Listen, don't get me started. Don't get me started because I have more things to say about Housewives and stuff and all this stuff that they're doing with all of their money. Did you hear today that Kylie Jenner rode her private jet 3 minutes away for a 40-minute drive?
No, I did not.
And now they're like, climate control people are like, whew, she's enemy number one for climate pollution.
Well, that seems pretty ridiculous.
A 3-minute trip on a private
That
jet
sounds
or a
stupid.
40-minute drive.
That costs so much money.
It will damage the earth too a lot.
Right.
Because that does happen.
Well, Kyle meets Sutton at Il Segreto.
Segreto.
Secret.
Is that what it means?
I'm pretty sure that's what it means in Italian. Don't quote me on it, but I
Segreto.
have a feel.
Oh, the secret.
Sutton has a really cute purse that looks like a book. Kyle's like, are you reading? So Kyle apologizes very quickly and wants Sutton to understand that Kyle wasn't like discounting or not believing that Sutton had miscarriages.
Keep going.
But I mean, if you flash back, it looks like Kyle was like, what? I don't believe you.
Okay,
You know?
well, she says this. And then after she says that, she says, I was just sitting there, and then you say you have miscarriages, and I just thought to myself, oh, that's convenient. So you are saying that you didn't believe her, Kyle. Don't try to... This scene right here is so disturbing to me with Kyle, because she is gaslighting Sutton so hard.
I feel uncomfortable.
Because she knows she can control Sutton's feelings.
Yeah, Kyle wants to just apologize and let it be over. But Sutton's like, no, I want to talk about the things that you said and did, and let's clear this
Accuse
up.
me of, yeah.
Which I was like, oh, Sutton.
And Kyle doesn't want anything to do with that. Instead, she turns it around and says, you are hard to deal
Apologize
with.
to.
Apologize to. You are the one that's crazy. And I don't like this part. And Kyle rubs me the wrong way on this episode really bad.
Rumors have it this might be her last season.
Because I just feel like she's trying too hard to be a part of everything. And I feel like she's over controlling with Sutton and her emotions because she knows she can.
Right. Okay.
I feel like she thinks that she's her elder or something, and that she can tell her what to do and how to do things, and that's and how to feel. And that's gaslighting.
Well, what did you think about Kyle making dressing and having Mauricio stir it up?
But she stopped him like halfway through, and she's like, "You're doing it wrong."
I know. Well, he did kind of like not know what he was doing.
I know.
I mean, to be fair. And she was, it's cute because you can tell that they really do love each other and they generally do really get along. Because when she's like, "Oh, honey," type things, she's not really, there's not a bite in her voice. There's not any hate in her voice. There's just like, "Oh, you don't know what you're doing. Just get out of my way," But it was cute. It's they're really super excited about Farrah getting married and having kids.
She's so excited to have grandchildren. She wants them all to live with her.
She is baby crazy. Could you imagine? She's like, "We're going to put a crib in our bedroom."
She's going to make the whole top floor bedroom, like a nursery.
Like, Mauricio. I went with Mauricio. I'm like,
nope, I already did the kid things.
Yep, daddy got to sleep. But it was a cute moment anyway.
I'm loving this episode because of all the holiday stuff. Because I'm getting really depressed during summer. I hate the summer and I love the holidays. So this is really like refreshing to see turkey dinners and Christmas stuff.
I've been craving Thanksgiving dinner ever since.
I know, me too.
Well, we do see a really cute montage of Thanksgiving meals, like Garcelles and Sutton serving Thanksgiving meals to underprivileged children or families. We get a moment of Kathy Hilton and Teddy Mellencamp. People on social media hate Teddy Mellencamp. It's so wild to me how much they really, really despise her. I'm like, because she was a normal human? Because she wasn't extravagant like everybody else? I don't get it, but you don't even know her. Don't hate her so much.
You need a new villain? Here I am.
So Rena shows up at Diana's house, one of Diana's houses. She sold one house for $87 million.
All right, this is where I go back to how ridiculous rich people are and how they could really be helping the community. Instead of dealing with, I just want this beautiful view every day. Every year, she could have given $1 million to 87 different schools and completely turned them around. But no, because you probably don't want to do that unless it's going to be a tax write-off for you at the end, because you want to give to charity instead of just doing the right thing.
Well, in the next episode, she is at least donating clothes to charity.
She is, but that's another tax write-off, whatever. People only do it just for the tax write-off. They don't do it because it's a good thing.
Right. Well, they recap Rena's trip to Harry's show premiere for a moment, but Rena really gets into Garcelle's party right away. And so Diana talks about her and Sutton and tells, Rena that Sutton was trying to one-up her. "Oh, you've had a miscarriage? Well, I've had too."
And what kind of woman does that?
I don't agree with Diana.
I don't think anybody would do that. Like, a miscarriage is a serious... I don't even think anybody would even play around or joke about miscarriages.
No, Diana is completely wrong about this.
I feel she's 100%
Sutton
wrong.
Pissed her off several episodes ago, and she's never gotten over it, and she never will. She even said that she doesn't give you second chances. So, I'm totally on Team Sutton here, and I thought, especially when at the end Dinah's like, "Well, next time they can fly commercial." I'm like, these women can afford their own private plane.
Yeah.
At least most of them, so calm down.
And Lisa is just kind of feeding into it. She's like, "Oh, that's narcissism. That's narcissism right away. That's narcissism."
Oh, I like that. That's a good Lisa Rinna. Well, but Lisa wasn't there, so she's only getting
has no
bits
idea
and
what's
pieces
going
of
on.
Diana's broken English,
And I love it how Diana's like, "Well, she called me an MFer, and that translates in my language to having sex with your mother." I'm like, that's what it is.
Kind of what
That's
it means. I mean, it is slang, but literally that is
the definition of it.
But speaking of next time they can go commercial, during the next commercial break is the Thor commercial.
Oh, I wrote it down.
Yes,
I wrote that
with
down.
Kyle and Dorit.
The commercial for Thor: Love and Thunder with Kyle and Dorit was cringeworthy.
Oh. But
the worst part of it all was at the very end when Dorit's like, "Don't you think it'd be so hot if PK had a man bun?" And then Kyle's like, "Yes." And I'm like, ugh.
What I thought was wild is Kyle Richards, who's been acting her whole life, did not act well in that commercial. She's just as bad as Dorit.
How can you be so insensitive?
I know.
I'm like, Kyle, I don't believe a word you're saying.
Still to this day, my favorite one was the Terminator one with
Shannon and Tamara. Yes, I still think about that commercial.
And when we went to the theaters, you're like, there's the part where are they? How come they're not in the movie? I'm like, they're not in the movie. It was an advertisement.
I'm like, where's
You're like, well, I don't want to watch this.
Well,
it's so funny that both me and you wrote about the commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Because we wrote our notes at different days.
I know. Well, Mauricio is dressed in his color-blocked outfit.
He's color blocking, which means block of color.
Right, which normally it would be like a shirt that has different blocks of color. I don't know if it's like two solid pieces really as color
His shoes were a different color, his pants were a different color,
but you know
and his
what?
shirt was a different color.
I applaud him.
He's dressed.
Yes, and he's gorgeous. So the Kimsleys arrived to celebrate Thanksgiving with them, and Kyle and Dorit are talking about the option of moving because, Dorit had thought about moving. Kyle thought about moving after she was robbed. And I'm like, maybe both of you should consider moving. You live down the street from each other and you've both been robbed. Maybe you don't
it's not a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
If they're obviously a hotspot for robberies.
Yeah, those neon lights will go to another house call, Richard.
I know those neon lights.
I hate those neon lights.
Okay, I'm not a big fan of those neon lights, but every once in a while I like a neon light in someone's house because I like the color that it gives off.
Yeah,
every once in a while.
She has a few of them.
Yeah, it's a little too much.
If it was just one, I'd be like, okay.
But you're so right. These women, when they drink stuff with absolutely no carbs or any sugars in it. Because Dorit wants a vodka with 3 lemons squeezed into it. Not flavored vodka, but she wants 3 lemons squeezed in it and the carcasses hauled out.
Remove the carcass. Remove the carcass. They start talking about Erica at Garcelle's party, and they all really have a laugh about it because Erica's been pretty uptight all these years.
That flashback of Erica, I was like, gosh, I forgot how uptight she was.
Yeah, I know, me too.
And kind of a bitch.
I mean, she's always been okay to talk about sex, but she's always stood up with.
She was better than everybody, it seemed.
Yeah, had perfect posture. Did not want to get in trouble with Tom.
Yeah, she was above everyone else, so she doesn't do stupid things.
Yeah, but so even though her behavior isn't great, they're just really happy that she's, figuratively letting her hair down.
I mean, talking about peeing on people and stuff, she's hilarious.
But again, social media is furious with them for laughing about it. Because again, they're not saying that what Erica is doing right. They're like, yeah, she's screwing up a little bit. She's getting out of control a little bit. But you know what? Hasn't she earned the right after all of these years of having a stick up her butt to mess up a little bit like this?
But it is every single time she gets drunk.
Yeah. But I mean, people are just so up in arms about her saying F off to Jax, which again, I'm not saying is okay, but it's not the worst
It's not the worst thing that's ever happened in the world. My goodness. I mean, go look at New Jersey. When they get drunk, they fist fight.
Right? I mean, come on. Well, over at Sutton's house, Sutton is getting the warder. Did you notice that?
Don't make fun of how I say warder.
A lot of people in the South do that. Warder and washcloths, too.
Get that washcloth.
Yeah. But she's having all the ladies over to reveal the remodel of her home, which has been quite an extensive remodel.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it rained.
Ooh.
So now she's got a muddy backyard, but that setup is beautiful in the backyard.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. So before they go over, Garcelle and Cherie meet at Garcelle's house just to chat for a minute. Cherie is into Oliver, too.
Yeah, no bones about that.
Yeah, she's like, I don't like the way she talked to Jax, but I like the way she talked to Oliver. Mm-hmm. I'll join in. I like that they're just going to set the bitch straight at the party.
Yeah.
At the Suttons.
To setting a bitch straight.
To setting a bitch straight.
So you're right. It's mucky outside at Suttons. It's mucky.
It's cold, too.
How many we should have played the drinking game every time they said muck or mucky. Take a drink. That would have been it. I think I would have considered moving it inside.
Me too. I would have moved it inside too. It wouldn't have been that hard. You have all the people to help.
Yeah. Or, I'm sure that you could rent some sort of mat to put on the ground, a tarp.
Or just have a bunch of flip-flops purchased from the dollar store to give to your girls when they get there.
Well, Rena shows up first, as usual. If Rena's not first, Garcelle's first. But Garcelle shows up second. you know. But Rena gives Sutton a candle, and then later Erica gives Sutton a candle.
Yes.
She's like, candles are a popular gift for the housewives, but some candles are freaking expensive.
Oh my gosh, and I bet the ones Erica's given is at least $100.
The ones from Spain.
Yeah, well, Erica gave one to Kyle, too, I think. She gave another one away in this episode.
Yeah, you're right. Diana.
Diana, that's right.
Do you think, so it looks like there's a Monet on the wall in Sutton's home. Do you think it's a real Monet? Are there
In Sutton's home? Probably.
Are there Monets available to purchase at auction and stuff that are not museums? I'm assuming
I don't
there
know.
would be.
Diana was spending $87 million just for a view every year. So I that can't be too far-fetched to buy like $100 million Monet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not even a famous Monet.
I mean, I'm just really ignorant about it. I mean, I just, in my
I think
mind,
you
I
can't-
assume they're all in museums somewhere.
Most,
you know?
I bet most of them are, but I bet there are some that are private owners.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they all get drinks, but Garcelle wants to wait. She wants to be clear until she talks to Erica. She means business.
I know, and I'm like, come on, hurry up. Just talk to her.
Erica's on her way over, and she's really nervous. She knows she offended Garcelle,
Yes.
and she doesn't know how hard Garcelle's going to get in.
I know, and she even says, she's like, I'm not that afraid. I'm just afraid of Mama.
Yeah. But when she shows up, she's like super nice to Garcelle. Mm-hmm. And she makes a point out loud to tell Garcelle that she's only having one drink. You know that's not
Which
possible.
isn't true.
Yeah, you know that's not possible. But Garcelle and Erica try to make small talk, but it's really awkward.
I know, and I'm like, God, Garcelle, just ask her to talk right now.
Walk away.
Yeah.
They have caviar and oysters as an appetizer.
Gross and disgusting.
Yeah, that makes me want to leave the party.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope. You know I have an issue
Have
with
you
slimy.
had caviar?
You know I have an issue with slimy textures, so I'm not even going to try.
Well,
it.
I've had caviar, but it was like on a cracker, on a spread, on something else, and it was just to try it, and I honestly didn't really taste it.
But did you feel the texture? Was it slimy?
I don't really
Did it
remember. I had
squirt
cracker.
in your mouth?
No, I had crackers and stuff with it. No.
I'm okay with saying I don't know if caviar is good, but I'm not interested.
I don't
in
know if
trying
it's tasty, you know?
Well, Crystal loves it. Kyle shows up last, so then now they can finally make it outside. And they are not happy about having to walk in the mud.
Well, I mean, most of these women's shoes cost over $1,000.
Oh, yeah. Rena's shoes are beautiful.
They're huge.
Yeah, but Kyle's like, I ain't ruining this outfit with wearing flip-flops.
I love that, my gay man girl.
But I love that Joshua went and got flip-flops for everyone, got them all fur coats. You better
Yes,
have
fur
a closet
coats.
full of fur coats.
Yes, ma'am.
It's hard to believe that in Southern California it's cold and rainy.
Every once in a while.
It also snows in Pasadena.
Rena asked Dorit how she's doing, and, you know, she's having a hard time being alone.
Yeah, she's having challenges that she's having troubles overcoming, and it's actually driving.
Yeah, because she has to be by herself. Yeah. Garcelle asked Sutton if she knew Diana wasn't coming, and Sutton's
Good job, Garcelle.
I didn't know. Rena knew. Rena talked to Diana just a few hours earlier. Diana is sick again. I wonder the validity of all of it. I wonder if she just doesn't want to show up to filming sometimes.
Probably.
Maybe she is sick. Maybe she is.
Maybe she is, but maybe she's just like, I'm not dealing with this.
But wasn't the baby like 8 months ago?
I don't remember.
Maybe it was 8 weeks.
I don't know how bad the damage.
Maybe it was 8 weeks.
I don't know how bad the damage is either.
Yeah, I don't know either. But sometimes I just get the feeling that Diana just doesn't want to participate.
Yeah.
Garcelle is like, well, she's rude.
That's very rude.
Garcelle likes to call Diana rude for not letting Sutton know that she was coming. You know, Sutton thinks that Diana is showing very passive-aggressive behavior by not showing up. Sutton herself is not passive-aggressive. And Rena's like, oh, really?
Oh, that's like the pot calling the kettle black. This is another, oh, you're so angry moment from Lisa where she just thinks she's just really got Sutton here saying this to her. And it pisses me off because, Lisa, you weren't even there. You heard one side of a story and you think you really got Sutton now because she's a horrible person. You didn't even listen to Sutton's side yet.
Yeah.
You're a bitch. Period.
You're so angry.
And that's how the episode ends. Rena asking Sutton, did you call Diana an MFer and soulless?
So
Oh my God,
irritating.
how dare you call someone soulless?
Oh no. Oh, soulless.
Next thing you know, you're going to tell her to F off. Well, you know what? I'm going to F off and go refill my beverage.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Where's the bartender? Oh my God, where's my drink?
We'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor, Anchor by Spotify.
If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, let me give you a rundown. Basically, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Here's how it works.
Anchor lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or your computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today.
Then you can distribute your podcast to the most popular listening platforms, including Spotify, with a single tap. Anchor is also the only place you could publish video podcasts to Spotify directly.
With Anchor, creators can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions.
And best of all, Anchor is totally free.
Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Today. And we're back, so you say.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Ah.
That I know.
Well, guess what? You jumped the gun way too fast.
I know, I was just doing like all of the...
You can't do that. You can only do it after the break. You have to do it before each segment. You can't do it all at the same time.
I didn't. We need to put that in the bylaws.
It's already in the bylaws.
Oh, we have bylaws?
If you would read the book, that's a foot stack high, then you would know.
I call episode 10 the family episode. It's a lot of filler, but a lot of really nice and warm family scenes. Unlike the chaos and the anger that's been happening throughout the season so far, the first 9 episodes.
This next scene is definitely a holiday episode.
Yeah.
This episode is.
Yeah, it's very warm and fuzzy most of the time. But we have to start off finishing up Sutton's luncheon at her home.
So, Sutton, did you call her an MFer and soulless?
Well, Sutton really thought that she and Diana finished off that conversation connecting.
Yeah, and Sutton likes, well, did she tell you that she mocked my 2 miscarriages, Lisa?
Right.
Gosh.
You weren't, and Garcelles is like, you weren't there.
Lisa only heard those 2 words from Diana, and she's just going to run with it. She's like, oh, yeah, let's do this.
Well, Sutton thought the hug was real, and Rena's like, well, I don't think that Diana walked away feeling the same way.
No.
Kyle mentions that Diana thought that Sutton's apology was fake. So that's why she, Kyle, stepped into, quote-unquote, help. Garcelles tells Kyle, you just jumped ship right away.
Yeah, whatever.
And I don't think Kyle understands what jump ship means.
She feels like jumping ship is like getting off the board with everyone else.
Right, where she's like, listen, I'm not on anyone's side, I'm on everyone's side. But, and then Garcelles, has lots of opportunities throughout the rest of the episode.
To show her how she jumped ship.
Right. So Sutton gets a Bumble notification.
I'm the worst at dating.
I was like, what is a Bumble?
Oh, you didn't know what Bumble was?
I had no idea what Bumble was.
Bumble's been around for longer. What's the one where you swipe left or right? Tinder. Bumble's been around longer than Tinder.
And you know what? I just saw a thing that the Tinder logo is like a little flame. Do you know why?
Why?
It's because you get matches.
Oh, that of course makes sense.
So stupid.
And Tinder is like wood.
Yeah. Like you Tinder it, and then once you get a match, you got a match.
Boy.
So stupid.
That master's degree I got really helped me think on a higher level, didn't it?
You gotta choose. Are you gonna be smart or are you gonna be blissful?
Sutton doesn't like chatting on apps. She wants to meet face to face in a public place.
She's very old school.
With having Josh nearby, making sure she doesn't get roofied.
Y'all, because it does happen, y'all.
It does happen. Listen, I'm convinced that I might have been drugged years and years ago to bar.
It does happen in the gay community, kind of.
I mean, it happens in any
Randomly.
community. It happens in any community. Sutton gets a FaceTime from Sanjee, one of her Bumble matches, and the women hijack her phone.
Yeah.
This is very high school, but it's real cute.
It's super high school, and even when Sutton blurts out that she really likes him, and then she acts like, oops, I didn't mean to say that right in front of him. I'm like, girl, yes, you did. You're not 10. You know what you're saying. You know he's on FaceTime. You know he could hear what you're saying. Right. And you had the phone right in front of you when you said it.
Yeah. Stupid. But it was a cute little girls being girls scene. Which
it was very
I
girly.
enjoyed that. Erica gets a refill on her drink. We're at drink 3.
Her third one now. And Garcelle is side-eyeing her, and she's keeping count, girl. And I'm like, Garcelle, just go talk to her.
Well, she does. She addresses Erica about the way she talked to Jax.
Yeah.
And Erica's right away.
I agree and take full responsibility.
Thank you.
And you know what? I was talking and treating the kids like they were adults, and I was wrong.
You're right.
I take full responsibility.
I did. I should not have done it.
I just want you to know I wasn't trying to be vicious.
Yeah, it was just me being, off the cuff and stupid and drunk.
I was trying to be funny.
I want you to know that I really think that your boys are awesome boys. We were even talking about what great kids they were.
How well spoken they were.
Yeah, and how well they hung out with the adults.
Yeah, how observant they were. They weren't on their phone the whole time.
Yeah, which are all great compliments, and as Garcelles said, what any mother would want to hear about their children.
Yeah.
I've seen some posts. A lot of people thought that Erica was being racist because they insinuate her saying your boys were well spoken. People translated to insinuate that people of color are not well spoken.
Oh, I didn't get that at all because I find that all teenagers are not well spoken.
Right.
All teenagers are stuck on their phone.
I thought that she was speaking about all 14-year-olds.
That's like other people's kind of reverse racism where you're just constantly thinking that everyone's.
I
didn't get that at all from Erica.
And again, maybe it's because I'm a
and
white
plus
guy.
Erica was trying to hit on him and wanted to have a threesome with him. Why would you? It's just I don't get it.
Yeah, it's hard for me to relate, not being a person of color myself. But I guess in other situations, I can't even remember. There was one Housewives. It was New York. It was New York with Ebony K. Williams, and Heather was like, I'm really surprised that you're so well spoken. She said something like that. Yeah. And Ebony was like, is it because I'm black? And so it was a thing on that season of New York. So I see how it translates.
I can get that
to here. That makes sense now that I put it all together. Kyle comes to Erica's defense. And Garcelle is not happy about Kyle jumping ship again.
Kyle's like, well, she could have a leeway. She doesn't do this all the time. So can we just give her a break? And it's like, Kyle, this isn't your discussion to have.
Right.
Period. This isn't your kids. This isn't your body.
Yeah, but we all jump in to support our friends when we feel like they're,
But I didn't see Garcelle tearing Erica down the slightest.
Right. Yeah.
It's going to be peaceful and beautiful, and everybody's going to get along.
But Cherie, she's such a good mediator.
Yeah, she
and
really
translator.
She was like, I think from what Garcelle needs from you as a friend is to be neutral.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at what Cherie says because she never puts opinion in there. She just tells you the facts and translates on behalf of the other party.
And this episode, she's been making her way around solo with other ladies. She's making her FaceTime.
Yeah, I like Cherie a lot, and I like the way that she communicates. But again, Erica explains how she was talking crap, gave compliments, and what a great testament it was to Garcelle's mothering. And then Cherie and Erica toast to threesomes with Oliver.
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to drink to that, too.
I'll drink to it.
Cheers to that.
Thank you.
Garcelle next takes her kids to the twins to a shoe store called Cookies and Kicks.
I didn't see any cookies.
I didn't see any cookies either.
What's the cookies?
But I did see the most expensive tennis shoes I've ever seen in my life.
I do love that she's like she's like $1,000 for a pair of shoes. What do they do? And I'm like, girl, what are your shoes? What do your bags do?
There was a pair that was almost $10,000.
There was one pair, yes.
It was $9,000 something.
Yes.
That's almost $10,000 for a pair of Nikes.
But how much do those women spend on shoes and purses?
I have a feeling that Garcelle does it. She won't buy a Birkin bag.
That's true. She is
I
very
feel like
down to
Garcelle's
earth.
a bit more frugal with her money because she didn't always have it.
Yeah, I believe that too.
But she still lets them get $500 shoes.
Well, she left there. How much did she say? $2,272?
Yes.
For how many pairs of shoes?
I'm assuming... Well, if she gave them about $500, then certainly she bought more than just 2 pairs of shoes. But my favorite part of this whole episode is in Garcias Confessional when she's saying, you know, I never even dreamed my life could be like this. Like, I couldn't have even dreamed this big.
Sometimes I feel like I couldn't have dreamt my life now because it's too big. I couldn't have thought of it.
Yeah.
And I say that all the time.
And when she was talking about how she, like, was a single parent, raising 2 kids, and then have another older kid that was out rambunctious, look at where she is now, and she did that by herself. Good for her.
But, you know, to risk stealing the spotlight, I just really related to Garcelle at that moment, because we talk about it all the time, like how awesome it has been since moving to Salt Lake City, and how we've had opportunities that we literally could have never even dreamed of.
Yeah.
I never would have dreamed that I would have been married to the hottest guy on the planet. I never dreamed that I would have filmed The Real Housewives. Like, I could have never dreamed that big.
Yeah. I never thought I'd be traveling the United States for free.
Having a job.
And being on the cover of a romance novel.
Yeah, and
pretty
you know,
awesome.
having a job where I travel the country. So when Garcelle said that, I was like, oh, Garcelle, I have this same conversation all the time.
You're always trying to one-up her. It's ridiculous.
I am.
It's really, it's desperate, to be honest with you.
It is.
You're so desperate for attention. It's disgusting.
I know. I can't help it.
It's a gift.
Over at Kyle's house, they're celebrating Hanukkah, and here's where all the family stuff happens.
Yeah, it made me miss holidays so much, and it made me want to, like, get together with my family for one of the holidays.
Yeah. I really love how close Dorit and her family are with Kyle and her family. Like, Mauricio just hugs those kids and is so excited to see them. And then hearing Jagger tell the Hanukkah story was just
so cute. And I didn't know that story, to be honest with you.
I have heard that story, but if someone asked me, I wouldn't have remembered it. But I will remember it now.
Yeah.
It was a really nice, sweet scene, and, you know, again, very warm compared to the rest of the show. And then there was a family-oriented scene at Diana's house, and I just didn't care.
And
You know,
I
I
remember
just
at one
didn't
point
care.
Diana was saying her family doesn't feel like she's cold or anything like that. I'm like, you are kind of cold. Like,
Yeah,
you are very cold-shouldered to people.
Yeah.
Especially people that have, like, irritated you even the slightest, it seems.
But throughout this whole episode, anytime there's a scene with Diana, she's licking her lips or she's pursing her lips. Like, she does not know what to do with her lip injections.
Oh.
She's constantly like this. You'll have to look at our social media. She just purses her lips or licks them all the time. And she looks horrible in the confessional.
Oh, with her short hair, it makes her
Yes.
face look so enormous and swollen.
And it makes her look old.
Oh, yeah, her short, it didn't, that, I wrote that down too in our confessional. I was like, yikes.
And then they just, spur of the moment, decide to FaceTime Anea, the daughter. I'm like this wasn't planned out. Like, she wasn't sitting by the phone waiting for y'all.
Yeah, we know how this works. It was almost midnight over where she was.
Yeah, but it was, again, it was not. It was kind of nice, I guess, to see her not being a monster and be a family person and talk about how she loves having her kids around and how she even wants them to move in.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. But I wish I could care about Diana more. I'm just not a fan. I don't think she's nice. At 40 Love, a sports bar, Kyle is meeting with Cherie and Garcelle.
Man, that sports bar's loud.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And then their seat is like right by the front door. They're like, oh, I'm sitting here? But Garcelle wastes no time. Let's talk about Erica.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's get into it. Does she have an alcoholism problem?
I don't want to film for 5 hours. Let's get into it. Kyle is still defending Erica. Not her behavior, but just giving her a bit of a reprieve.
Yeah, she's like, it's only been 2 times that this has happened.
And Garcelle is concerned that all of this will lead to alcoholism.
I think that's a very dramatic statement.
Now, as a woman who has dealt with a son who has been through drug and alcohol abuse, I can understand why that is a concern of hers. Getting drunk a few times doesn't make you an alcoholic unless you kind of have it in your DNA, I guess.
Well, also, addiction is something that makes you feel good, and when she's drinking, she feels good with these new meds and stuff, and she's open, she's having fun, and she's experiencing a side of herself that she probably hasn't in a long time, so that can be addicting.
And hopefully, though, she's not drinking like this when she's not at a party.
Yeah. Well, yeah, who knows? I do feel Garcelle's just being extra cautious.
Yeah.
I think she just wants to mention it. She just wants to bring it to Erica's attention, and then from there on, be more aware of it.
But Kyle knows better than to say that someone is an alcoholic on camera.
Yeah, she's like, do not say meds. She's like, I take Lexapro, a very, very small part of Lexapro, and that's meds. It's like, that's not the same thing.
But, you know, Kyle is still recovering from outing Kim as an alcoholic from season 1.
Yeah.
And I think it happened with someone else, too. So she's like, I ain't going to say it on camera, even though if I believed it, I'm not going to. But Garcelle really just wants to intervene before it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be like, Erica, you're an alcoholic. She just wants to be like, Erica,
These are signs that we're noticing. Can we be aware of them next time?
Yeah, can we just be mindful that if you're taking this medication, maybe don't drink or drink less, you know?
Yeah, just be more aware of your drinking time.
I just want you to be safe. Mm-hmm. And again, Cherie is a really great mediator and translator through this.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. Back at Diana's house, she's getting ready to get rid of some clothes to give to charity. Mm-hmm. Diana says that she is very charitable. She's like,
I bet she is charitable. I bet everybody's charitable. But the fact of it is, they're only charitable because it's just going to be a tax write-off for them in the end. Yeah. They're only doing it to get the I feel like they're only doing it because it makes them feel good and it gets the praise, and this company spends $80,000 for this big dinner and stuff, and then they raise like $150,000. It's just like,
but you know, Diana says that because her family relied on charity so much when she was younger that charity is in the forefront of her responsibilities. Are you buying it?
Mm-mm.
You're not buying it?
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it even a little bit.
Well, what I did love though, I liked to see the cool images of Diana's fabulous life.
She's met a lot of famous people.
You know, that's what I want in a Beverly Hills housewife. I do want my Beverly Hills housewives to have money coming out the rear and to have the fabulous lifestyle. That's what the show is all about. More so than any of the other cities. Mm-hmm. You know, all of the cities are about affluent women, but Beverly Hills, they hold diamonds. That's money, honey.
Very, very rich.
Erica arrives at Diana's, and Erica is really coveting all of these expensive clothes. Yeah. But in her confessional, she tries to convince us
that she doesn't need material things, and she's not jealous at all. And then it cuts to like, oh, I am so jealous of all these clothes.
I know, and not to mention you were holding on to those earrings that the judge had been trying to get you to turn over for months. So we know, I know that has maybe as much to do with the resale value of anything else, but don't try to pretend, Erica.
Yeah, you want that life.
Right. And then they have a chat about Diana and Sutton, and Erica's like, I told Sutton to give you another chance, and Diana was like, well, how do you forgive and forget? And
I'm like, okay, then that's our answer.
Erica's like, you don't.
Yeah.
Which is sad because Erica and Sutton have been getting along so well. And Eric and Sutton asked her weeks ago, I just want to make sure that this is genuine. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that turns out. Over at, then we have another holiday montage of Kyle building a winter wonderland.
Getting real snow put on the lawn.
Rena and her daughter Amelia killing it in the modeling world. Crystal and Zoe are picking avocados grown on their own property.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then to Sutton, who was on her way to lunch with Diana.
Toscanos, or whatever you say.
This one is called Toscana.
Yeah.
Diana's already there, but I like that on the way there, Sutton kind of calls Garcelle for support, and Garcelle's just like, yes, Sutton, whatever you say.
Yeah, you are complex, Sutton, you are.
But like I said, Diana's already there, and they have a nice hug hello.
Diane gets up to give her a fake hug.
But she looks completely over it. Mm-hmm. And she just goes,
so what do we do now?
Yeah.
So what do we do now?
Well, let's start from the beginning. So it's like, well, we can sound of music it out. Do you know what that means?
No.
You know the song, Do-a-dear?
Oh.
The song starts off with, let's start from the very beginning.
Okay.
That's why.
I'm very funny and witty.
Well, if we're starting from the beginning, you said that I'm clumsy with my words. How can you say that I'm clumsy with my words when you don't even know me?
Diana's like, well, I don't think that anymore. Okay.
Now I think that you're just mean, and you are using
stupid.
your words. And you do say what you mean. But, Sutton really tries to keep it civilized. Mm-hmm. She apologizes for her part right away, but wants Diana to take some responsibility for, mocking her miscarriages and, just being hateful. But Diana says that Sutton wasn't being genuine.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy for you to say, Diana. That's an easy way out.
Yeah.
It's really easy to say that instead of thinking, oh, maybe she was trying to relate to me. Because if you go
Why
back
is she trying so hard to be my friend?
There was no tone in Sutton's voice that says, well, you've had a miscarriage, I've had too.
It's just Diana with a chip on her shoulder. She just doesn't like her.
Yes, but I'm proud of Sutton. She doesn't lose her cool. Diana, even when Diana says, I need professional help communicating with you.
Yeah.
But Sutton just keeps it. But she does call Diana delusional. And then Diana admits that the hug was fake.
Mm-hmm. And then admits that she's fake. And then continues to say that Sutton is fake. And I'm like, I don't think you know what's going on.
But really, whenever Sutton says anything, Diana just tells her that's not genuine. That's it.
Yeah,
no matter what you say, I'm not going to believe you. You're just wasting your time.
Diana's just being a mean girl. That's it.
But that's all Diana has. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have maybe intellect. She doesn't have reasoning. She just has, I'm going to just shut you down every time.
Yeah.
Well, she asks, who is Sutton? And Sutton starts describing her attributes. And once again, Diana just refutes it. And then we get that odd, great exchange about so you say.
Are you hearing yourself? Are you hearing yourself? Do you hear yourself?
No, I like the so you say that I know.
So you say. So you say.
So you say. That I know. So you say. That I know. So you say.
But Sutton's like, well, I have a lot of Christmas cards to fill out, so I'm going to get out of here.
So I got to go. Mm-hmm.
I would just said, you know what? You are a hateful bitch, and I don't need to be your friend.
And I'm not wasting any time with you.
I'm out. You go on with your life. I did my best. Talking to a wall. Mm-hmm. I'm out.
Diana she says, I'm not going to let you wipe your feet on me. I'm not going to let you abuse me. I'm not going to let you do. I'm like, where is any of this coming from?
That's what Sutton said, too.
I don't understand that at all.
Abuse you?
Wipe her feet on you like she's better? When has Sutton ever done that on the show?
Never.
That's not even in her DNA to do something like that.
But I want my villains to at least be witty or funny or
have
something.
Yeah.
And Diana ain't got nothing but money. Nothing. She's pretty, but she doesn't have anything but money. She doesn't say anything that I want to hear. She never makes me laugh. She's just hateful.
She's just spiteful. She just doesn't have anything good to say.
Yeah.
I feel like she's just better than everybody else.
I have a feeling she'll be a one-season wonder.
I think so, too. I don't think she's going to have a second season.
I haven't seen anyone on social media who likes her either.
She's not great.
It's a shame. What a fabulous life she leads, and we don't get to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, we would really enjoy it if you all would follow us on our social media. On Facebook and Instagram, we are The Real Housebears. On Twitter, we are Real Housebears. And you can email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
You can also find us on YouTube at The Real Housebears Podcast. And you can listen to us anywhere you want to listen to podcasts. But if you're listening to podcasts on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star rating and a cute little review. And we will talk about you on air and make you bear famous.
#HousebearsFamous.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
It is time to test.
Time to take tests of our sound.
Right, not take a test.
I can't take tests anymore. It's it's illegal for me to take tests.
It's illegal for you to take tests?
Yes, and it's also bad for my health.
Is it?
Break out hives, warts, crazy stuff.
Gross.
The flu.
No test for you.
Monkeypox.
Oh, shoot. Let's test again.
We are taking another test. It is not written. It is oral.
Those are my favorite kinds of tests.
So oral.
You're so stupid.